Hey everybody, purpose of this video is to walk us through problem 2.11.3 in the Collaborative Statistics textbook. In this particular problem, what you've got is you've got a table that you had to fill in question number 3 proper. I've answered a couple of the questions before question number 3. In 2.11.1 it says, what does the frequency column sum to? Here are your frequencies in the data, and it sums to 65, which, if you read the problem itself, it says 65 randomly selected car salespersons. So, if they told you 65, that's a nice self-check to make sure you got the data in there correctly. Awesome. Let's see, what does the relative frequency column sum to? I've placed the relative frequencies as both fractional form and percentage form. Fractional form is easier in this case. Percentage form is more logical. I mean, I personally, when somebody asks me what 12/65 is, in my head I'm like, I don't know, 12/60 is 1/5, so that's got to be a little bit less, but I mean, depending on how much precision you need, 20% might be okay. So anyway, point being, fractions, percentages both work out. And last but not least, the cumulative relative frequency column, that's just the sum of percentages as you go down. So you got 22% sold 3 cars, 51% sold 4 or fewer, and the reason that is because 29 sold 4, 22 sold 3, so altogether that's 51% sold 4 or fewer. The reason that's nice is, as you remember from class, looking at percentile ranks and trying to figure out where my son was percentile-wise, it's easier to have the cumulative frequencies, because now you know that roughly half of the salespeople sold 4 or fewer cars, and half sold more. So you've got an idea of where your median is, roughly at 4.5 cars. Cool. Okay. So anyway, now we're into the problem number 3. What is the difference between relative frequency and frequency for each data? So here's relative, each data point, for each data value. Here's relative frequency, and here's frequency. So what's the difference? Exactly. One's a raw count, and one is the raw count weighted by a sum total. So one, and I like to call relative frequency percentage. Later on in the course we'll call it probability. It all means the same thing, it's a fraction of a whole. Relative frequency, relative is the frequency relative to the entire set. So you've got percentages versus raw numbers. That's 11.3. We'll hit 11.4 next.